and welcome to episode 101.
101, crikey, we're getting old.
Today we're going to look at 5 reasons that you should outsource your work. But, before we get into that...
Well, we were going to talk to you a little bit about what we did this week, being that we moved some of our rooms in our house around, which I can only but suggest plan it well if you're going to move rooms around.
I really hope you've all had a much calmer week than we've had this week. It's been a wee bit stressful.
It's one of those stressful things in life, moving rooms and, I think even moving house, they say, is one of the most stressful things. Well,
we've only moved... We've already swapped rooms around, Blair. We don't need to...
No, I know, but I think one of the things with moving rooms is for us, we didn't, when you move a house, you move everything into a truck and it goes to the new house.
Yeah.
We had to move everything in our house around.
We've got no spare rooms.
And so it was just this massive juggling act. But we had an autumn cleanse, so it's autumn here in New Zealand. Unlike in the States, being spring cleaning. Yeah. We did an autumn cleaning.
Very calm, very zen.
Yeah, did a big trip to the dump, so we're feeling good, nice and organised.
Yes.
So I can highly recommend a bit of a house spring clean if you're feeling a little bit cluttered.
Autumn clean.
Well, autumn for us, spring in the northern hemisphere. So if you're feeling a little cluttered after your winter in the northern hemisphere, give the old spring clean a bit of a go. So
and our office space isn't quite there yet, so we are still a little bit.
We're transitioning in this office space at the moment, but if you're watching us on YouTube, you'll notice a slightly different background to normal. So we are getting there.
Slowly but surely.
We'll
let's
jump
crack
into
on.
this week's topic. And 5 reasons to outsource your work. So if you're early in the process of your business, you might be asking, why are we touching on outsourcing so early in the piece? If you're only beginning with an idea and things, probably the last thing you're thinking about is outsourcing, because a lot of people put outsourcing or freelancing or using contractors way down the list. But what I want to do today is talk to you about, using freelancers and outsourcing as part of your business throughout the journey, and something you should start thinking of from the beginning. And we'll run through the 5 main reasons why I suggest that. So number 1, pretty much it allows you to elevate your business growth. So Emily and I, we're growing a business and we've only got so many hours in the day, just like you. You don't want to be working 80 hours a week on your business. What you want to be able to do is go and share some of that workload with somebody else. So rather than just us two working on the business, we use contractors to do certain parts of our business.
Yeah, because I think you find otherwise you're going to get overloaded with stuff to do, and it's playing to your strengths. Do what you're good at, and give other people the jobs that they're good at.
Yeah,
and that means you can, grow your business faster.
Yeah, exactly. So, you want to grow your business fast. So, just looking up there, there's a spider running over the wall.
There's a massive spider.
It's quite big, actually. I'm not a fan of spiders, but that's okay. We'll keep going. That's number 1. You want to get your business growing, because the quicker you grow it, the quicker you're going to achieve those end goals.
Yeah.
Okay. So point number 2 would be, it's just what Emily touched on. You don't need to be a jack of all trades. Basically hiring someone to build your website or do your social media management is great, because if you don't have skills in that, if you're not a coder, if you don't know much about social media and marketing and things, utilize someone else's skills. That way you don't have to train yourself up to code a website. You focus on what you're good at and leave the other bits to them.
Well, what if people haven't got that excess fund for that, though?
We'll touch on this at the end, because that's a very valid point, and that's something
because presumably people that we're talking to at the beginning of their business, they're not necessarily going to have made money from it yet.
Exactly, and that's why we're bringing this topic up now, because basically we want to, and I'll run through that after I've finished my point number 5, because it is a very relevant point, but I think it's a good way to to round it off. So so point number 3 would be, it allows you to focus on the important key drivers of the business. So for example, if you want to build a website and sell products on it, I would suggest to you that right in the beginning, the most important thing for you to do is focus on the product. Develop the product, make the product the best it can possibly be, and have someone else build out the website for you. There's hundreds and thousands of people that can build out that website. But the massive thing that you need to focus on is getting that product right, and doing it well in the beginning. So focus on that key driver for your business.
With a website, though, you could do it in stages, couldn't you? Say you've got a bit, you could get the website up and running, and then you can spend more money on developing it.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
a process, presumably.
So that's a really good point, and it's something I haven't touched on. I wasn't going to, but it's totally outside of what I was thinking. But it's actually a really good point. So, like when you're outsourcing stuff, it comes back to that point of get it done, not perfect. So, like, get the website built out. It might not be perfect. Launch the thing, get it underway, come back to it. And that might be
develop it over a period of time.
Yeah. So touching on your budget point, you were talking about the budget. Someone might like to use. You might like to use a freelancer who is a bit cheaper to build out your website in the beginning, and then once you're up and running with your product, and you're earning revenue and things, you can come back to that. Hire a more experienced freelancer who's really good with graphics or something like that, and then do like a second version of your website, or just tweak it up so it's working better for you.
Yeah, and even getting people right out of their training, these website developers, getting them young and just starting out, and then and you're gonna get a good deal because they're right at the start of their careers, and they just haven't got that reputation behind them. That's all.
They just don't have the testimonials, and sometimes that's a really nice thing to do, because a lot of the time people coming fresh into the industry, they're the ones that are actually really up to speed with
what's like
the latest
in at the minute,
what's in at the minute, and whereas people that are well experienced and been in the industry a while generally can get a bit stuck in their ways, and that there might be old school developers or old school coders. And, that might be something that, you want to do and push as a point of your business, as a real key sort of driver, is that you want to be employing, young, vibrant people that are really up with the tech and things like that. So you'll get
something a bit more exciting.
Yeah, and you get them for cheaper. So, have a good look at that. I mean, I think that's really relevant. Yeah, that's good points. So number 4 would be, you generally are going to get a better result by using experts. Okay, I'm a real fan of doing stuff myself, but I've had to maneuver away from that a fair bit, because if I sit there and do everything myself, it stalls our business and we don't grow to the speed that we need to be growing. So it's really using the experts, because if I do it, I'll probably be able to work it out and get it done, but it'll take me twice the amount of time. And if I mess it up, then I'm going to have to go to the experts eventually anyway. And so what then I've done is I've spent 2 to 3 times as much time and, basically stalled the growth of our business. So it's being able to identify what areas you should be using the experts in. And you'll only know
what areas you can do yourself as well, because there's
definitely,
both. So it's just getting it right.
Yeah, so it's about sitting down and looking at what business you're in, what your niche is, and how are you in e-commerce, or are you in affiliate marketing, or whatever, and working out what are the important bits that you need someone else to do, what bits can you do, what bits aren't necessary for you to do, but you don't need an expert. So it could be admin stuff. You just get someone in to help you with your admin, or your customer service. That's probably something you don't need to be doing. You can get a freelancer in to do that. So that's that sort of expert thing. So point number 4. Point number 5, it allows you to maintain flexibility. And this is a key one, because if you employ someone on a contract and then they've done some work for you, but then that part of your business slows down, or you don't need them for that, you've still got them on contract. if you're using a freelancer, it's like a tap. You can turn them on, you can turn them off. And that's the beauty of using freelancers and outsourcing, is that you can just do it project to project. So you're going to find as you're developing your business that you'll come across different projects as you go along, and you could go, right, for this project, we're going to use so-and-so to do this stuff for us. So for example, we've got a guy, same example as what Emily said before. He's not that experienced. He's a new guy in the ad space, but he's keen. He's learned a lot. He's not that expensive, so we're using him, and we're getting a lot of advantages out of him because he realizes he's new. So he's not charging us for all his time, things like that, and so that we're getting a really good result out of it at the moment. And so I think that's that thing, is we can do some stuff with him, and then if we decide not to do advertising anymore, we can just say, hey, look, enough's enough for now, and switch
and for him,
it off.
He'll get good reviews from us and things
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah, we'll give him good testimonials, so it's a win-win for him as well.
Because it could lead on to other clients.
Yeah, and when you switch it off as such, when you say to them, well, look, I'm not doing any advertising, for example, for the next 6 months, that doesn't mean you can't go back to them in the future either. So a lot of these people they're full-time freelancers, so they're always doing freelancing. So, you can go back to them in 6 months and say, hey, look, we want you to do more advertising for us on this website or whatever. And so that's the beauty of it. You're not getting fixed into long-term contracts with freelancers. So I guess with these 5 points, why I wanted to raise them now, and it comes back to your point about budget. When you're setting up your business, you want to allow some budget for this. And that's why we're talking about it now in the process. We'll talk about it later in the year in a podcast further down the track. But right from the beginning, you want to allow a little bit of budget to allow you the flexibility to use freelancers or to outsource some of your work. So that's something to really think about right in the beginning. And again, there's ways and means of stretching that budget, and we've talked about that with maybe using newcomers to the freelancer space, that are a bit cheaper, and just working out which areas that you can outsource and which areas you really don't want to. So it's setting out a plan, setting out a bit of budget for it. And I guess one caveat that I'd say is you don't need to outsource. This is just a point that I wanted to make today, is that it's well, that's interesting.
That might be the end of the podcast.
Could be the end of the podcast today. So what's just happened is the whole computer arrangement has just fallen over.
Yeah. So we might wrap this up quickly.
And we might need to do a bit of work on some rearranging the office. So look, if you like this video, if you're looking at it on YouTube, please like and comment, subscribe to our channel. If you're not watching on YouTube, have a look, and
hopefully we'll be back next week.
And without the expletives.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you.